He became known by a chilling moniker, the Toy Box Killer. David Parker Ray was not merely a criminal, he was a serial rapist, a torturer, and a suspected murderer whose depravity knew few bounds. His reign of terror unfolded primarily across the desolate landscapes of Arizona, USA. The true scope of his crimes remains debated, but estimates suggest he may have been responsible for the deaths of at least 60 women. His instrument of torment was a specially modified truck trailer. This mobile chamber of horrors, which he chillingly dubbed the Toy Box, was where unspeakable acts occurred. The sheer sadism and elaborate nature of his methods left an indelible mark. His crimes and the twisted ingenuity of his torture chamber are widely believed to have served as inspiration for the gruesome scenarios depicted in the Saw horror film series. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. David Ray Parker was born on November 6, 1939, in Belen, New Mexico. His early life was marked by instability and hardship from the outset. He was abandoned by his parents at a young age. This left him to be raised by his grandfather, a figure who reportedly subjected him to harsh physical punishments. These formative years instilled in him a deep sense of isolation and fear. He developed a withdrawn personality, becoming notably shy and awkward in social situations. School offered little respite. He was frequently bullied by classmates, further reinforcing his feelings of being an outsider and fueling a growing resentment. His teenage years were spent largely in solitude. He turned to drinking and using drugs as a means of escape from his internal turmoil and external pressures. During this difficult period of adolescence, a disturbing fascination began to take root. He developed an interest in sadomasochism, exploring dark fantasies that would later manifest in horrific ways. He managed to graduate high school in 1957. This marked a brief period of conventional progression before his life took darker turns. Following graduation, he joined the U.S. Army. He served overseas, where he acquired mechanic skills, a trade that would prove useful in constructing his later instruments of torture. His personal life remained tumultuous. He entered into multiple marriages in the late 1950s and early 1960s, none of which lasted. These early marriages failed, at least in part due to his increasingly apparent and disturbing understanding of sexual pleasure and his specific interests. His partners could not reconcile with his dark desires. In 1966, he married Glenda Burdine. This marriage would bring a brief period of apparent normalcy, though the underlying darkness persisted. Their daughter, Glenda Jean, known as Jessie, was born in 1967. This familial connection would later become tragically twisted. The marriage to Glenda eventually dissolved. The separation plunged Ray into a deep depression and led to unemployment, exacerbating his existing psychological issues. Fueled by his psychological breakdown and long-held dark fantasies, Ray embarked on a chilling path. He developed a psychotic obsession centered around the torture and killing of women. His descent was methodical and deliberate. He reportedly studied human anatomy and various torture methods, meticulously compiling his findings. This twisted research culminated in the creation of his own horrifying document. He wrote what he referred to as his torturer's manual, detailing his planned atrocities. He began actively kidnapping and murdering young women in the 1970s. The exact timeline and number of early victims remain unknown, lost to his secrecy. Disturbingly, he continued his horrific crimes unnoticed for over 15 years. This prolonged period of undetected violence allowed his depravity to escalate unchecked. A key element of his escalating crimes was the creation of his dedicated torture space. He converted a truck trailer into the Toy Box on land he owned in the desert. This trailer was not just a room. It was a meticulously equipped chamber designed for inflicting maximum pain and suffering. He referred to his victims as sacrifices. A toy box contained a horrifying array of instruments. Items like needles, pliers, surgical instruments, whips, straps, and saws filled the space, each intended for a specific purpose in his rituals of torment. His victims were typically abducted and then subjected to a brutal process. They were drugged, tied down, and then brutally raped and tortured for extended periods. Adding another layer of psychological terror, Ray often played a recording to his victims. This chilling audio described in graphic detail the impending torture they were about to endure, stripping them of hope before the agony began. Ray's crimes were not always solitary acts. In 1975, he began a relationship with Cindy Hendy, who would become a willing participant in his horrific activities. Later, his own daughter, Jessie Ray, also became involved. She joined her father and Hendy in their criminal endeavors, a disturbing testament to the corrosive nature of his influence. The trio is believed to have committed a significant number of crimes together. Estimates suggest they were involved in over 30 separate incidents of kidnapping, torture, and potentially murder. Considering his solo activities and those with his accomplices, David Parker Ray is believed to be responsible for a staggering number of victims. The total count is estimated to be over 60 women. The long and terrifying reign of David Parker Ray finally came to an end on March 22, 1999. This was due to the incredible bravery and resilience of one victim, Cynthia Vigil, who managed to escape. Vigil's escape was harrowing. She fled the torture chamber naked, severely injured, and with a metal collar still locked around her neck, a grim souvenir of her captivity. Despite her horrific ordeal and injuries, Vigil sought help. She found her way to safety and immediately reported her kidnapping and torture to the police, providing crucial details. Her physical condition provided undeniable evidence. Her body bore the marks of her torment, displaying severe bruises, burns, and puncture wounds that corroborated her terrifying story. Vigil described being kidnapped and held captive for 3 days. She recounted being brutally tortured by a man and, disturbingly, 2 women, painting a clear picture of Ray's operation. Based on Vigil's account and description, Ray, Hendy, and Jessie Ray were arrested shortly after her escape. The net finally closed in on the perpetrators. Police subsequently searched the RV trailer identified by Vigil. Inside, they found a scene consistent with her horrific account, including the instruments of torture and the chilling recording Ray used. Faced with overwhelming evidence and the testimony of a surviving victim, David Parker Ray accepted a plea deal. This avoided a lengthy trial, but ensured he would face justice. He was sentenced to a staggering 224 years in prison. This sentence effectively ensured he would never again walk free to harm another soul. His accomplices also faced severe consequences for their roles. Cindy Hendy and Jessie Ray both received life sentences for their participation in the crimes. David Parker Ray did not serve his full sentence. He died of a heart attack on May 28, 2002, while still in custody, taking many secrets about his victims with him. His gruesome methods and the concept of his elaborate torture chamber left a dark imprint on popular culture. They are cited as a significant inspiration for the creators of the Saw film series, which premiered in 2005. The story of David Parker Ray serves as a chilling and necessary reminder. It stands as a stark testament to the depths of extreme violence and sexual predation that can exist, a cautionary tale etched in suffering.